Hey folks, I'm Vixen. Today we're going to take a look at Worlds Adrift, a game by Bossa Studio. So before going any further, Worlds Adrift is a game which is currently on development. We're on closed beta, and everything we're going to see today is subject to change. So with that out of the way, what is Worlds Adrift about? So it is a multiplayer sandbox with a focus on exploration. Basically the core of the game is that we are going to harvest resources on an island which are going to enable us to build a flying ship, which is going to enable us to discover new island and new technologies to improve our ship and go further and further. Obviously the game has an emphasis on PvP, but this is a part I have absolutely zero interest in, so I'm just going to put it aside and I'm going to focus on what I love the most in World Adrift. As I am a huge fan of Skies of Arcadia on Dreamcast, the fact that I can navigate through this flying island with the ship I've been building with my bare hand is extremely compelling. Adding to that pretty interesting grappling hook and climbing mechanic, it is a pretty good recipe for adventures. So I've got a ship ready waiting for us in the clouds, and what I want to do today is to show you the basic mechanic loops so you can see if it is something for you or not. Alright, so this is my little ship. It is not too big, but it is definitely fitting for a lonesome adventure. So we've got all the basic things. We've got engine, we've got a little sail over there, helm, and this one is to respawn. We've got a little chest and a bit of fuel at the back. Got also plenty of things which we are going to take a look at later on. Still, we are very close by to an island. I'm going to maybe land on this one. We'll try to make a shipyard so I can show you how we build these ships, and let's just do so. Maybe while we are going to advance towards the island, I should just activate this a little bit of sail here. I don't know if there is wind or not, and it seems to be the case, but in the wrong direction, so we are going to be required to use our little engine here. Alright. Okay, so we've got a bunch of things. So this is the helm, and as you can see, I've got something on the left which is going to handle the 8. We've got also on the right a thing for the thrusters. You can go backward, you can go forward. I'm not going to go too fast, maybe. We've got a little bit of lag here. This is dangerous because sometimes you just get a bit of lag and you fall from the ship, so you need to be very, very careful about that. Nonetheless, it is happening less and less, so they are working on that. So I was speaking about the helm. So we've got also this little bar which we can move in different directions, so we can just plunge downward. We can try to lift the nose of the ship like this. We can rotate it to just rotate the ship in a very, very simple way. We can also just try to maybe make it a bit more oriented on the right, so you can just rotate a bit faster. There's plenty of things we can do with that. It is quite a good way to control a ship. I quite like it. Nonetheless, let's just see. Do we have wind here? Not so much, so I will need to actually do all the things myself. Let's just plunge a bit. We're going to activate these. We're not going too fast because I don't want to miss island. Nonetheless, I wanted to speak a bit about the progression mechanic while we were going, but as there is no wind, we're just going to advance manually toward this little island, and we'll see where we go from here. I still want to show you first how we build the ship, because it's really one of the most important part of the game to me. So let's just see. We are not too far, and what's happening with my personal reviver? This is my spawn point, basically. This is the thing I've got just over there. It is going to give you the ownership of the ship, and it's also going to allow you to respawn when you are going to be in trouble. Let's say I get killed or I fall from my ship. I'm going to be able to use this reviver to respawn on my ship. And if you don't have a ship, there is this big stone thing over there which are going to allow you to respawn in there. So it is you're never stuck. I might want to just rotate a bit the ship so we can just bring the ship on the island a bit. Oh, we've got things which are going to be interesting to recover here. We've got something here just over there which is going to be let's say these things are going to give you a knowledge point which you are going to use to advance a bit. Let's just stop rotating the ship maybe, and let's just advance a bit. Actually, we should have a bit of wind now. Yes, we do. So there's plenty of things which are important with the ship, because you've got the weight is important, the all the wings and stuff are going to be very important. I'll just slow down this thing. Alright, the materials in which you are going to build your ship are also very important. It's not something which is obvious at first, but it is also quite important. Let's just try to descend a bit. Or we could just go a bit on the right and land on the slope. It might be fitting. Just push a bit the engine so we can reach it. We need to be careful because animals tend to react to your presence. Whoa, it's not too fast. A little bit slower, please. Just backward. Okay, should be fine enough to stop the ship. Good. So no wind, no engine. We're just going to maybe crash a bit. I just jump here. I'm going to try to slow down the ship just a little bit because your weight is also going to walk. Wait a second, I'm just sliding. I just try to climb back. As I was saying, the grappling hook is quite good. Let's just try to... Alright. Climb a bit more, and let's see if I can maybe drag the ship a bit. I don't know if it is going to be possible because I am a little bit less heavy than the ship, and it seems to be moving a little bit, not too much. If you were more, we would be able to move the ship a bit better, but it's going to be alright. So this is a fairly basic ship. We've got these two engines, we've got a sail, we've got 4 wings, a helm. There is also a very important part of this thing. We've got the Atlas reactor just down there here, which is going to allow you to make your ship fly. You cannot build anything without it. Plus I've got an upgrade just at the back here, which is going to enable you to have ships which are going to be able to be heavier. Upgrades are going to be very important if you want to build things which are going to be much bigger. So we're on this island here, and if you want to build anything, you need to gather resource. I've got a little glove on the right here, which is going to be used to do many things. So we've got this basic, let's see, is it? Does not look like to be nice, just regular props here. So we need to find something I can actually harvest. Do we have a tree or something? Yes, we do have a tree here. So let's just take a look at this. So thanks to this tool, I'm going... it's a pretty bad idea to make this thing fall on my... We don't care. Let's just go with that. So we're going to be able to use this little tool to pick up plenty of resource. It's going to... Yes, it was a mistake. Maybe it's a good way to hide my ship though. Nah. Because I did not speak of it previously much, but it is a game which is... completely online, so you cannot play on private server. There is only official server, so you need to play on server where there is other people. You cannot play completely solo. It is always be a shared world. Let's just try to bring my ship a bit closer. Okay, good. I don't want to find it too far away. There is no anchor yet. I hope at some point we'll get some way to anchor your ship to the land. It would be very, very nice. For now, the only way to do so is to build a shipyard and put it back on the shipyard. So it is working, but it is maybe not perfect. Still, so I was speaking about harvesting. So this glove here is going to enable us to harvest stuff. We've got more than one option with the glove. We've got a second module which is going to enable you to repair your vessel. Still, you will need to be careful because if you've been building something in a certain material, you will need to have this material to repair it. So if you've been building, let's say, these wings in oak, you will need to have a bit more oak to repair it. So it is quite important to make let's say storage of such materials. Then we've got the lift. The lift I might want to explain maybe a bit later. We are going to see this one is a shipyard. I think I might want to repair it instead. So basically, if I want to build a shipyard, I'm going to go in my inventory. I've got a bunch of schematic, and these schematic are limited in number, which is, I don't know if this is going to, I believe they want to make it stay, but I must say that I don't really like the limitation on the schematic. I don't think it's a good, let's say, progression mechanic. I would prefer to have maybe point to spend in the ability to build things of better quality, more than being limited in the amount of part I can actually build. Still, there is a way to expand on this schematic. You've got you can spend point to increase your number. It's costing quite a bit, so there is a limit to that. Nonetheless, I was speaking about the shipbuilding thing. So if I want to make a shipyard, I'm going to be I've got a schematic here, and the the most important thing is that we've got 3, let's say, parts which are going to compose your shipyard, and each part can be composed by different kind of materials. You need to put metal in these. Basically, any kind of metal will do, but each metal has different kind of characteristics. So let's say the nickel here, it is versatile and it seems to be a very good all around. But if we take a look at this one here, it is probably not going to be too heavy. And the bronze here, I've got only medium things, so there might be metal which are going to be more heavy or maybe less adapted to different things, and depending on what you are going to use, you are going to make parts which are going to be more or less efficient. So you need to pick and choose your materials to be able to do the best part possible. Okay, let's go back. Where was I? So I was speaking about the shipyard. So this one is okay, I've been taking ownership of this one. It's going to prevent to enable us to do things a bit faster. So is there an assembly yard somewhere around? Nope, so it's going to be a very good occasion to build something. Let's just make one. So I've got an assembly station here. I'm going to use, let's say, my bronze to do a little bit of this. So 50 bits of bronze for the casing. I can basically just take anything. I can just mix and match. I'm going to use 30 more for the assembly device, and I'm going to use a bit of, let's say, nickel here for the mechanical antenne. So we're going to build that. It's going to be in our inventory, and we'll be building this thing just next to it. I'm not putting my ship on this one because I want to show you how we actually design our ship, because we've got a lot of freedom in this area. Still, I would definitely like to be able to see maybe a better UI to make it work. You will see how it's going to happen. It's not perfect. Okay, so let's just put this assembly down there. Alright, and this little bit of machinery is going to enable us to build all the different kind of things we're going to need to build our ship. So we'll begin probably with the Atlas Sky Car to allow it to fly and other things. Still, let's just make something out of this. Alright, so I don't know if I can build 2 ships at the same time. I hope I can do so, because it would be trouble. So let's say we're going to do something very basic. So here we've got a skipper schematic. So you see, this is the wire which are going to be defining the shape of your ship. But if I don't like it, I can very well just go in there. There is a bunch. I'm going to maybe show you different kind of ships. So we've got different. You can do really in every direction. I can show you maybe my. Is it mine? I'm not sure. Maybe it's not. I think I might have been changing the thing. I don't know if I've been saving either. Anyway, medium one. Yeah. Anyway, let's just go back to the skipper. Was it the one? Yes, it is. So if I want to maybe edit the thing, I can go into edit, and it's going to give me this little thing. It's not easy to manipulate, but it is quite powerful. So let's say I want to make it shorter. I can very well just click on this and drag it back, and it's going to remove a bit. So it's going to be a much shorter ship. But if I want to make something really, really big, I can just go and drag it forward, and I can just make it even bigger. And I can make it maybe wider if I want. I can just go with that. And I can have a ship which is going to have a very big cargo hold, but I will need to be able to man it, because if it is that heavy, it's going to be difficult to use the sail properly. It's going to be difficult to do everything if you are just alone. So the bigger ships are going to be definitely possible, but very difficult to use as a lonesome let's say sailor. So you will need to recruit a crew and stuff like this. So as you can see, you can do really something which is going to be very big. I think I cannot go much further though. And you can go higher as well. You can just add these. Can I go even higher? Yes, I can go even higher. So it's going to be possible to do things which are going to be huge metal beasts if you want. It is definitely possible to do something a bit crazy, and I might not want to do that either. It is just too big. Still, the fact that you can just change every part like that, and I'm just going to go, and there is a bunch of sliders. You can just change the middle, you can change the lower part, you can change the top of these, so you can just go a little bit crazy with it. It's quite powerful. I really like it. You can also decrease the height and stuff like this, and you can really do any kind of ship. It's really a strong theatre here. I would definitely like to see some improvement on the UI, but it's working already pretty well. Let's go back. Oh wait, I don't want to do that this way. I don't want to save it either. We're going to do something a lot smaller, or we will not be able to finish it. So this is not what we are going to go for. Let's go with maybe just a light ship, just so I can show you how it's working. Alright, so this one is not going to cost us too much. It's going to cost us a little bit of metal. I don't think I've got enough, and a little bit of wood. I've got enough wood though. So we're going to be required to find a little bit of metal. It's going to be maybe not too difficult, and I will be able to show you a bit more how we navigate through this area, because we've got things to climb here, which is going to be quite interesting. Okay, so let's just climb all the way up. I'm going to use my grapple hook, and I'm also going to use the force ability of my glove. So we've got the forge scanner. This one is quite useful because it's going to enable you to scan things. So let's say I'm going to scan this chest here. Alright, I've got no knowledge because I know this thing, but you can scan rocks, you can scan trees, and every little bits of things is going to give you knowledge at first. This one is going to give me 1, it's not too much, but it's going to give me a bit. And this thing we've been seeing earlier on the top of the... just over there. This thing here is going to give you 25. And these knowledge points are going to be useful because they're going to enable you to unlock new parts. You can find blueprints for parts in chests on islands, and it's going to be one of the things I like. I really like to go and hunt for new schematic. It is really something which I find compelling. Still, if you really need one kind of part for your ship, you can very well just spend the knowledge you've been gaining on these different trees. We've got a tree for engine, cannon and wings, and each one you're going to spend resource on is going to give you a new blueprint. Plus we've got another tree which is to increase the amount of schematic slot you've got, and it's going to cost increasingly more, so it's going to be difficult to have plenty. Nonetheless, let's just keep going. We need to find a bit of metal here, so let's just climb through this strange and interesting structure here, so we can find maybe more things. There might be chests as well, so we can find maybe more equipment or more schematic. I hope we're going to find something of interest. It would be very, very nice. Oh, what is this? This looks like a door. And I'm getting a bit of knowledge by grabbing it. So let's just climb over there. Alright. We can actually just change the length of the rope. We can just go higher or lower fairly easily. We can just wait. Oh no. Okay, good. We can jump fairly well, and we can explore this thing. Plus there is one more thing about the way we move. We can climb on things. I might want to be... Can I just do it here? Just try to... Yes, I can climb on this one. You see, it is going to enable you to go through surface fairly easily. I believe it is an ability which is still being worked on, so it's not perfect. And if you are not careful, you can get killed a bit. So it is important to be careful about that. The physics is quite good as well, so you can do plenty of things, and it is often looking pretty cool. You can just walk on walls like this, and you can use this little thing to go around like this, and it is really enjoyable to navigate through this game. Sometimes it is a bit surprising, but it is always enjoyable. I just go all the way. Oh, look at that. We got a little bit of knowledge here, so 30 points. I thought it was less before, but maybe as we are on the second tier area, it's maybe a bit more. I don't know. So areas, as I am speaking about this, so each area is... So we've got something new here, it seems. So each area is going to be limited by some kind of wind wall, which you are going to be... you will need to go through. So fuel gauge, oh nice, and a trunkman stinger. Okay, let's just take a look at this. And so this area you will need to build a ship which is going to be much more powerful if you want to go through. So we've got now a fuel gauge which I'm going to add on my ship if I can. We've got a new cannon as well. Oh, what's happening here? There is a bit of wind. Oh, look at that. It is somebody else. It's making a lot of noise. It might be a ship which is much better than mine. Okay, let's just try to see if we can climb a bit higher. I'm going to give me a bit more rope if I want to be able to do so. Alright. I was looking for metal and I... Okay, good. I'm not going to find any here. So we've got one spawn point here. I think I might want to go somewhere else. It's not going to be interesting for us. Let's just keep going. I'm going to just descend here. It was interesting, but we've got more things to do. Okay, good. Wait a sec. Okay, good. I've got somebody on my ship. Interesting. Nice little scarf. Let's just keep going. Another guy here. Okay. Let's just try to find some metal here. Oh, I've got some here, I think. Yes, we do. So we're going to use our glove to pick up a bit of this. So we've got a bit of silver. It is quite good. It's a bit of a waste to use it for the ship, but we'll use it nonetheless. Just pick up a bit more. We've got also an atlas crystal here, which is going to be... let's just pick up the metal first. Alright. So this little thing is going to be useful to make the atlas core. So we're going to pick up one of these atlas shard here. Alright. Let's just climb back, we should have enough, I believe. I'm going to use my ship to drag me back up. Okay. So, now thanks to these, I'm going to be able to make this ship happen. I'm going to use this silver here to make the beams, and I'm going to use a bit of wood to make the deck. So now it is going to begin. We are going to have it ready soon. And I might want to actually harvest a few trees while waiting. So we can build a bunch of things, because I'm not going to build everything. It's not going to be as interesting if I do. But I still need to get some thing to show you how parts are going to actually bend other things, and how it's going to change a bit how you're going to create your ship. It is quite nice. Okay, so we've got a little bit of wood, a little bit of berries as well. I might want to eat a bunch because I'm lacking a bit of else. There we go. We cannot eat and run at the same time, but it is going to heal you over time. Okay, so we've got our very basic thing. We can actually, there is a shield which is surrounding the ship, and we can use it to keep us in the air with a grappling hook like that, so you can just maybe deal with your ship a bit better. Well, it is very small things. I think it is also the same thing as my previous ship. Anyway, so we've got the lift, which we can use to move things away. So I'm just going to pick up this. Can I not move that? Yes, I can. So I can just drop it here. This is the deck. I can remove it. I can remove all the parts if I want. I just got the frame now, and we're going to put it back though. This is quite useful. Alright. And on this part, it is fitting in there, but if you are, let's say, if you are making parts like, let's see, not basics, it is structural, I think. Yes. So if we are making small panels, I'm showing that because I quite love the thing, and we are going to use these. All right. We cannot craft many yet. I hope we are going to get something like that, but it is not possible yet. So you need to craft each part one after the other. So you are going to be able to use that, and when you're going to put it on the thing, it's going to, bend to fit the thing. Oh, are they living? It's making a bit of noise here. So as I was saying, the parts are going to try to fit to the frame, and it's going to enable you to do plenty of cool things. Quite like it. Anyway, let's just try to go for a little bit more. I'm going to shoot just a bunch more parts and we'll go a bit further. You don't want to stick around because when this thing is falling it might crush you. There is a lot of physics which is involved. It's working very well. The guys at Bossa, they really know well how to do that. They've been working on plenty of games which involve pretty evolved physics. So it's working very well on that game. And so on, we are going to be able to continue like that. We are going to be able to add cells, add engine. There is plenty of things we can add, and the further we go on these islands, the more parts we are going to find. So it is a quite powerful, let's say, quite powerful editor to make the perfect ship. Still, it will require people to make it work. Nonetheless, what is also very cool is that we're going to be able to customize our already very cool character. So I'm wearing things I've been finding on these islands, and you can also customize your character when you're going to create it. For now there is a very limited choice, but we've got a decent amount of, let's say, of birds, of air. We can go with male and female. There is a bunch of outfit, if I remember right, and as we are going to advance through the game, we are going to be able to find more. Currently, I'm wearing these 3 things, but there is also 3 more slots for gears. I know there is one which is going to be dedicated to wings, so you can just fly around a bit. You will not be able to gain 8, but you will be able to fall a bit slower. So it is quite handy. There is 2 more, I believe. There is one which is going to be dedicated to the maybe to the glove here. And I don't know for the other one, but it seems to be interesting. It might be related to the boots. I don't know what we can get here. Nonetheless, it is going to be quite interesting now. So we're not going to continue that ship. It's not going to be as interesting. It's going to take a while to build it, and I think you might already understand how it's going to work. We're going to be able to add plenty of parts, and it's going to give us something which is going to be looking like that. And if I was to go for something bigger, it would take even more time, but it would be probably even more interesting. You can go with, let's say I'm building plates in wood here, but I could probably very well go with metal plates. I should have a bunch more. And the sturdier material you're going to take, yeah, it's definitely possible. If I just go with a small panel here, I can just use a bit of nickel, and I'm going to make a metal plate. So, and it's going to be a lot heavier. You see, this one is completely in metal. If you just put it on the thing, it's going to make a metal plate here. So if you want to make a ship which is going to be, let's say, bulletproof, you can go with these metals, and it's going to protect you a bit against the enemy cannon you are going to find on other vessels. So there is a very wide range of ways to build the perfect ship for you, and I quite like it. So let's just, I might want to explore this island a bit more, because we've been flying a bit. So the flying part is, let's say, it's taking a little bit of time to reach each island, and I think it is very important because as you are going to build your ship, you are going to make it more and more efficient, and the travel are going to shorten, and it is one point you want to reach at some point, so it's going to give you a goal to make your ship more efficient. Maybe make it better, making better wings, making better thruster, but maybe more efficient engine as well. Just take a look. We can actually analyze this thing to get more knowledge. Let's see what we're going to find there. We've got a strange, this chest is in the ground. I'm quite happy to be exploring this island, because this one is quite interesting. The island which are less interesting, but this one is quite cool. Got something here, more knowledge. I think I might want to use some to show you how we are going to unlock these knowledge thing. Wait a sec. Okay, let's just descend here. There is one thing I did not speak about yet, which is because we did not really meet so much animals around, but do we have any which is flying around? Because we've got mantas, which are going to fly in the sky, and when they hear the noise of an engine, they just get crazy and they attack you. We've got different kind of animals which are going to react to what you do on the island. Let's say if you've got an animal which is going to be, let's say, living off these trees, maybe he's, I don't know, eating the bugs or something, he will not like you to destroy these trees. So if you attack these trees and he's living off these trees, he might come for you. So there is, let's say, animals are not going to attack you because they are just aggressive. They are going to attack you because you are going to threaten their living place, and it is something which is also very, very interesting. I hope they are going to expand on that, because it is something which is rarely in games. So all these things you see are ships which kind of failed. So sometimes people just abandon their ship, and these become derelict and remain around, and you can salvage these, and maybe if you make a shipyard which is close enough, you can pick up parts of it, and you can make these on your ship, and you can try to keep going. So there is plenty of cool thing you can do with that. I'm going to maybe reclaim the ship I was building, and we're going to wait up. Let's just try to climb correctly. There we go. Alright, let's just remove this one, and we're going to put my ship on this platform here. So I want to remove these, because you cannot destroy something if there is part on it. You need to remove every part before you destroy anything. Okay, so I should be able to reclaim the structure here. Okay, no more. Let's just now bring the ship on this one. I need to add a little gauge here to see things. Okay, so let's just climb a bit in H. Alright. I love the noise. It's really adding a lot. And you've got good sounds. Just rotate a bit the ship. Let's not go too high, because we won't be able to do so much. Alright. There is a little bit of fighting. You've got a gun. For now it is the only weapon you can have as a personal weapon. We've got also cannons, which we are going to be able to put on bigger ship. Not this one, of course, because this one is just too small. But on bigger ship it is definitely possible to have multiple cannon on the deck. Okay, we are almost there, I believe. I don't want to push it too quickly, because it is not going to work well. We should be almost over this thing. I could just drag it with my hook, my grappling hook, but it seems not to be the best thing to do. Okay, good. So it is now on the shipyard, so we can actually modify the ship now. And what we want to do here is to build the little judge we were discovering earlier. So what is very interesting is that each island is going to offer you maybe new things. There is a lot of crates which are all around. We are going to be able to find schematic and clothes and new things, which is a very good goal to have on these. So we're about to make a flight instrument with a fuel gauge here, and we need a bit of let's see, we're going to make it in silver, because why not? Is it light? But must have only conductivity. Okay, it might be working well. Alright, so we're going to make this. It's going to be not too big. I don't know where I'm going to be able to put this on the ship, but we'll try to see what we'll be able to do. Okay, it's falling a bit into the thing, as a matter of fact. We'll just climb and see where we're going to put that. I want to be aware of it when I'm going to drive, so I might want to find a spot which is going to be close to my... do I want to maybe put it on the side? I need to rotate it, I think. I don't remember how we do it. Oh, that way. It is not perfect, far from it. Or I could just do it and put it behind, so I could know how much there is remaining, but without... Yes, let's do this that way. So now we've got a little fuel gauge, and I can actually use the fuel I've got in my backpack to refill that. Just take a look. It should be, yes, all the way up. See? So what I like is everything is working perfectly well together. There is plenty of things which are going to be holding together, and it is really working well. So what else do we want to take a look at here? I could fly a bit further, but let's see. Wait, oh, I almost fall like a potato. It would have been a bad thing. Alright, what do we want to add on this ship? Is there anything of interest we could add? I could add a cannon, but it is not really my thing, but you can just take a look at these. As every other part, there is plenty of stat on it. We've got resilience, capacity, power, overheat limit, and rate of fire. So there is plenty of way to find better things. And we've got different kind of engine, we've got different kind of wings. We've been seeing already, I think these are basically almost the same. There is one which is slightly better than the other one, but frankly these are really close by. I could add a barrel on stuff. There is plenty of parts you can actually find and to make your ship better. The other one to come by are probably the Atlas part, which are going to enable you to add a lot of weight on your ship. And basically I think that's almost all good decoration as well, to make your ship a bit more pretty. And let's take a look. Maybe we could try to get some new parts, see if there is anything interesting which is going to come. I've got 300 knowledge points. I'm going to try to spend some maybe on some wings, so we can maybe add a bunch of extra wings on the ship. So what do we have? Hatch flap board. Okay. Let's maybe try to add an uncommon wings. It might be much better. Let's go for these. Alright. So we've got rotator fin. Let's just now take a look at what we've been unlocking. So we've got the rotator fin here, which might be better than my current wings. So I might want to just spend a bit of the wood remaining to actually do these. I've got a bit of this. I don't really have so much choice because I don't have so much wood, but this one is medium weight with no outstanding strength or vulnerability. So it's quite an all-around wood. I've got also a bit of oak here. I'm going to add it here to the aileron here. And we've got mechanical antennas. I'm going to use a bit of silver. Okay, let's see how this wing is going to look like. Okay, it seems to look slightly better than my own. Okay, let's see, where do we put that one? We need to put at least 2 new ones, so we are going to remove this, maybe? Or maybe this one. Let's just begin with this one. You can actually salvage the part you're going to remove. So let's just put it, it was just like this, I think. Yep. And let's just use our salvaging tool. I've got something here to recover. If you are in your shipyard surrounding, it's going to enable you to salvaging a lot faster. Things you are going to find on islands are going to be a lot... What's happening here? I cannot... yes, it is done. It was just a little bit of lag. So let's go for a second wing. So it's going to be a bit easier. Am I lacking? Yes, I'm lacking the... Anyway, I think I'm not going to push too much on the construction because there is a lot of things we can do here. And I could also put this thing I've been removing on my ship. It's going to be a bit heavier, but maybe I could try to protect the... No, I cannot because I don't have the right tool for now. I don't have the frame which is going to go with it. It was really a light ship to go through the first wind wall, so it is. I will need to make something bigger. Anyway, guys, I think we are not going to go much further. It is basically the core of the game. We build our ship, we find new parts on this island, and we just try to make it better and more efficient and more interesting in a way. Because this ship you are going to spend a lot of time to tinker around to make it just better. So guys, I hope you like the video. If you do, please leave a like, a comment or subscribe. And until next time, guys, have fun!